Little quick video before it gets too dark. Now we took this O2 sensor and made sure it plugged up where we wanted it to go. This is the back O2 sensor. This is the front O2 sensor, so we're going to have to make it longer. And we've made our plug longer for the coil pack. We got a speed sensor. Some of this stuff I don't know where it goes or what it goes to. Some of this I know it's got a couple plugs that go to this throttle body. We can't find our intake bolts. I'm still looking for those. So we're just moving on. And I've been working on getting these butt connectors cooked on there tight. We just got some wires close to the same color, or maybe even the same color, but there's one wire that wasn't the same color. This is the front O2 sensor. We're going to have to extend this to make sure we can get it there. And this one, I took it over to Dave's one day. It fell off, and you know, they kind of patched it up best they could for the money. I got to cut this off, take a grinder, clean this up. Now this might screw into our old spot for just past the catalytic converter on the donor here. There's our front one, obviously. And then we're going to try to see if we can make that mount up to our old exhaust. And we'll use, this got a long connector on it. If we can take a grinder and cut this off and make it work. We might even put this catalytic converter in it. That's just a resonator. And then that is a catalytic converter, if you can see back in there. I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, you can't see in that. But that's our old catalytic converter, and we may try to make that work. I don't know. I don't know if we can turn that light on and see back in there. Yeah, there you go. See there? That is our old catalytic converter. So we may stick that in some way, somehow, in line with this. That's a pretty good long connector. So we might be able to just kind of stick it in here some kind of way. What do I got on my finger? Glue? Stick that in there some kind of way to make it to where maybe we can just go ahead and plug this one up. You know, they didn't do a real good job on welding that. I think it leaks like right here or something, and they didn't get it good. We'll clean it all up, whatever it is. Hopefully they got a little more meat on that. And or maybe it's right there where it was leaking. Yes, we might just be able to cut it off right here. And if that's good, I'll check it with some air or whatever. If we don't have to tinker with it, we won't. I'm going to stick that catalytic converter in here so the check engine don't come on. I'm dead serious about putting this underneath the back seat. The only thing I'm afraid of, you know, we could route it to where you could bend that pipe and have it come out the bed here. Like to have it come out in the center of the bed and put a cap over it. That way you could just fill it up from here. And I mean, worst comes to worst, I mean, we probably maybe be able to take that and plumb it in to these lines and use it as a second gas tank. That'd be pretty cool if you had two gas tanks, just like an old Ford truck. If you had some way to read the tank on it or something to where we could tell how much gas it had in it, that would be cool. That's saying a lot. But those are just metal lines. You could put a T in there, and it doesn't really matter. I would rather just fill up the one gas tank if we could take it and make it to where it would kind of come in at an angle into this tank's fuel neck, and just turn the pump on and pump the gas out of the tank into the other tank. That way it would work. If it will. That's saying a lot. All you need is a supply line and a vent. It's just got to have a vent on it. We could plug all the evap crap off of that old tank. Makes sense. Keep the tank and just bypass it to where it would pump one tank into the other tank. I think it'd be pretty cool. If you could do it to where it wouldn't overfill it. That'd be pretty cool. You know, all you'd have to do is just take that tank and just put a supply and a return in the fuel neck as two pieces, and have like just some way to do it and make it to where you can get the bed off without having to take the truck completely apart. So that's kind of the game plan. We're working on it, guys. That's the one thing that we got done today was that plug. I'm still working on these heat shrinks. And then the next plug we're going to work on is the one for the O2 sensor on the manifold. And then I might actually even try to take the donor motor here, take the manifold off, and see if we can't cut it and make it work as a companion flange. You know, it's got a lot of meat left on it. I think we can cut it about right there. Cut it off. I don't know if you can reach up inside that and weld it enough to it won't leak together, but you know, that end there, I don't know if it's metal or if it's cast. If it's just metal, it's not a big deal. That'd definitely work. But we want to put that catalytic converter in there too. So we may just use the metal that we got all the way from the catalytic converter, from the manifold to the catalytic converter, and then use that companion flange with that little piece. And it's a lot of blah blah blah. I think I can make that work. And like I say, I'm about to pull this back seat out and see how good that gas tank fits. And I got the straps. You could just put the straps over it, stick it down to the floor, and if the back seat fits with that in there, you can make a gas neck that'll come out to the back of the bed with like a return and a supply in the gas neck, and hook it up to that other tank and have a toggle switch and maybe some kind of little way to tell for full or empty. You know, you can figure something out. That would be pretty cool. It's saying a lot, but we're just kind of taking it one day at a time. We do have a plug that we've got plugged up successfully. We know where our other plug is, and we're going to have to extend one more plug. So I'll extend this other plug close to the same wires, butt connectors, whatever, and we'll just keep process of elimination. That signal wire, you might be able to hook it up to the signal wire for this transmission and hook up the speedometer. So it just got to read that ring. It don't matter. Just got to hook the wires up. But that's a day on that. We're just going to work on that one plug. I'm letting the lighter cool down. I got 2 more connectors to sweat. And then we're going to make one more longer connector. And then I might try to fiddle with that exhaust to kind of see where that thing wants to be. That'll read to the back side of that, because the first one's going to read the manifold, and then as it comes through that catalytic converter, it's going to read the exhaust gases coming from behind it. So that'll be the back side, and the front will be the front side. We just got to fit it up enough to where hopefully it's not going to be too long and we can get those two to go together. We can do that. It's beautiful. You know, later on you might need a bung and a new O2 sensor because, you know, that one's trash. It's been welded on. Whatever. If it don't leak, it don't leak. We're going with it.